Hello, everyone. Good Tuesday evening. I am in the kitchen again, as you can see. Hope y'all had a God bless day today, and hope your evening goes as well. As you know, we have been busy throughout the country. Even here in my little hometown, we've had marches, very peaceful. I am proud to say so. We thank God for His blessings, for keeping us, for giving us peace that passes all understanding. That's going to be our prayer from this point in while this social unrest is happening. That God will give us the peace that we need, that we can do what we need to do. We can say what we need to say peacefully so that we can be heard. Because you know full well when there's fussing and carrying on, nobody's really hearing anybody. So suffice it to say that I'm excited that since we did have to have a demonstration here in my city, that it was quite peaceful. It was amicable. It was harmonious. So thank God for Jesus. Thank Him for His peace. And those areas where the peace has not abided yet, it will soon. So we're just going to continue. Like I always say, pray without ceasing that peace will come to these other areas where it has not. And as we've talked about those unresolved issues, there are many at the root of the situation that's going on. So until those unresolved issues get resolved, these things that we're seeing here and now are going to continue on, unfortunately. But we're just going to have to ride it out, just like the pandemic situation, until there's a solution or get to the root of that. So we got two very serious things that we are living through, and what better time, if you never prayed before, pray like you never have for this season, that there will soon be an end, because we already know that the will of God is going to prevail. So we need to jump on board and come in line with that and begin to pray. All God wants us to do is to give Him the honor, and He wants us to confess our sins, and He wants us to acknowledge Him. So in doing that, these things will come to pass. We already know the Word of God says that my people will perish for the lack of knowledge. So here's the knowledge that I have come to, is that we got to just pray without ceasing. We just got to pray and ask God for His guidance. We have to ask God to order our steps. We got to get in our Word. We have got to understand where we are here in this. Yeah, we are on earth, and we have to live on earth, and we have to abide but we don't have to be of the earth in the sense that we have to do the things that are taking us in this negative direction. But we do have to understand one thing, that it's not just one single thing that's creating all this. There are many things. It's multifaceted. So for me, prayer is the spearhead. Prayer is in the background, the foreground, in the beginning, the end, everywhere. And so all the things that are in between there, we got to go through those things, which is what we're doing now. So excited to be back with y'all, and my heart is not so heavy now that I know that in where I live, so far so good. We've not had any uprising, but everything is peaceful. The young folk are out there; they're marching, and I'm sure there's some salt of the earth. Unfortunately, it's not something that I can do, but then I continue to pray. I can accept, I can't get out and physically march or do anything like that, but I can watch and pray. I can stand as a prayer warrior. I can stand as a sentinel and just watch and pray for those who are out there, and pray that peaceful minds will prevail and that nobody is in harm's way. So we plead the blood of Jesus over each and every demonstration, every march, every person that comes to speak, even those who may go out there with ill will, that they will be turned around as a result. That this will be this will be like a teaching moment, if you will, for those because who are not going in the right direction right now. We can't just throw people away because they make mistakes. I was talking to someone the other day, and we all make mistakes. Some worse than others, some over and over, but nonetheless, if we can't forgive each other, God said in His Word that if we can't forgive each other, how can He forgive us? Because that means we have ought. So with this, we have got to come to a place in this land at some point in time where there's got to be forgiveness, there's got to be some dialogue, there's got to be much prayer covering this, there's got to be love, because you know love covers a multitude of sins and keeps us going in the right direction. So before all my water boils out of this pot, I'm making some chicken pastries, what we call it here in North Carolina. My mom used to make it. She called it chicken and dumplings. And what it is boiled chicken. You season that water real good, boil the chicken, Mama used to roll that dough out of flour, just like you would for biscuits. Roll that dough out real thin and just drop them into that good old seasoned broth. But what I'm going to do, because y'all know I don't believe in reinventing the wheel, so I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to make it. I'm going to have 2 pounds of chicken that I've got already in there. This boy's rolling, boiling. I'm going to add me about 3 tablespoons of complete seasoning to season that water up really, really good. Okay. I won't be putting any salt in it. And then I'm going to add let's get about a half a teaspoon of turmeric. So that's going to make it a little bit yellow, which is not usual because normally chicken pastry is a white or opaque color. It's going to have a little yellow tinge to it because of the turmeric. But that's fine. And of course I'm going to put a little bit of, where is my curry powder? I just like that flavor. That flavor just does it for me. And I'm going to put another little half a teaspoon of curry in there. Okay? So these are going to be some nice dumplings. Okay, so we got those 2 dry ingredients. Now I'm going to put in some poultry seasoning. This will help give it, oh, that wait for how did that happen? About a half a teaspoon of poultry seasoning. Don't need a whole lot because guess what? We're using poultry. Okay, I don't want to use that much. About that much poultry seasoning. And I am also going to use just a little pinch of sage, about an 1/8 teaspoon of sage. Now, I'm using probably about 2 gallons of water right now. And when we get down to the end, because some of this water is going to boil off, I will be putting in chicken broth. So I'm going to use this like a pinch. Just a pinch. You can even pinch it if you like. But just about a pinch of sage. And then of course I've got my bell pepper, celery, and onion. I got a medium green pepper, medium onion, and 3 stalks of celery, ground up real nice, fine. I'm just gonna add that to the pot and let that cook for about a good hour, and that chicken will be done. And then I'm gonna put just as much butter in it as will fit in that pot. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna put about a stick and a half of butter in there. Butter just, y'all know what butter does. Okay, so we're just gonna let that go ahead and come to a good rolling boil. I have got to put some black pepper in there also. Where's my black? There it is right there. I didn't have to search for it this time. How about that? So let's put what is that? About a teaspoon of black pepper in there, okay? So I got all my dry ingredients, and we're gonna cook this a good hour and 15 minutes. See how much broth we'll have after that cooking. Should be pretty much okay. And then I'll start dropping those dumplings. Make sure these dumplings are purchased in the store. I'll show you what they look like. Okay. Let's get that to a rolling boil. Then I'm going to turn the heat down on it. Excuse me. And then I'll let it cook on medium low for the next hour. Right now, on high. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a little short cleanup, because I don't think I'm going to have to use anything else Kareem is not here right now. He's on his way home. He was helping my sister do some moving, so he'll be here. I was almost not going to cook because I'm sure they're probably going to eat on while they're on the way home. But I'll go ahead and have this pot of dumplings just in case. Because you know what? I'm going to tell you something about home and mama and grandmama. When you've been away all day long and come back home, I don't care where you been, you come back home. When you've been used to eating food from home and you come back home and there's no food there, that's not a real good feeling. So I said, at least I have these dumplings. And I might steam some cabbage or something like that. But for the time being, this is going to be the meal. Okay. Now, let me show you all my dumplings that I'm using. Okay, where are you? These are Atkinson's thin pastry strips, or dumplings for chicken. So chicken and dumplings or pastry strip, however you want to call it. So what I'm going to do at the appointed time, I'll be adding those to the mix. And when it all ends up, we're going to have us some chicken and dumplings or chicken pastry, however you want to call it. So now I think I can turn that down to medium low and just let it boil there for a little while. And we'll come back when this is ready and we'll start dropping those dumplings in. So hang on for me. Okay, y'all, the chicken is done. I know it's a different color than pastry usually is, but that's because, remember now, I put turmeric and some curry powder in mine, so you won't believe the taste of this. Try the turmeric and the curry powder the next time you make chicken and dumplings. It might not be the color that you normally see, but trust me, the flavor will be out of this world. So what are we going to start doing now? This is what these pastry strips look like. They are real thin. As a matter of fact, let me just do this. On the back of this box, it has complete directions about how to do them. It's telling you, you know, to boil your chicken and all that kind of stuff. And let's see. It says you may also take the chicken off the bone. Boil it. I'm trying to see how it tells you how to, okay, remove bones. If you do not have enough broth for cooking pastry strips, add water, of course. Okay, rapid boil. Use 2 to 3. Okay. Base for 4 quarts of water. I'm trying, okay. Add water and bring to a boil, to a rapid boil, salt and pepper. Okay, boil cover for 2 to 5 minutes then. Okay. Anywho, it tells you how to put these strips in there. Now, if you don't get them in there just right, I like my pastry strips like nice and soft and doughy. Some people like theirs to be like noodles, and that's what will happen with this if you don't cook them long enough. So, what I am going to do, I think I'll go ahead and take all my meat out, cook the pastry strips. So I'm going to get all my chicken out, like so. Just dip it out. And I'm going to have to add some more broth because my chicken is cooked all the way down. And I'm not taking my chicken off the bone. I like to suck on them bones. And so does my family. So we're going to leave our bones in the chicken. And like I said, I'm probably going to have to add a little bit more water. Maybe another couple of cups of water to this. This broth is wonderful. Now, if you can have salt, add you some salt in there because I didn't. Remember, I told you I put the complete seasoning in there. I think all my chunky pieces are out of there. So, but remember to read the back of the box if you want. You know, if you want to know the basic way. This is the basic way of cooking this pastry. But if you want to add the extra flavor, then you can add my extra ingredients. So we got this going, and we're just gonna put. See how nice and thin these are. You just put 3 or 4 of them at a time until we're going to get eventually all of them in there. So sort of add them in. I think they say 5 or 6 at a time, which is one roll. There's about, there's a bunch of them in here because they're nice and thin. And you do know when dough cooks up, it gets real nice and thick. Okay. Probably should go ahead and pour. Let me go ahead and pour the rest of this broth in because this broth needs to be boiling, boiling, boiling. Okay. It'll start boiling again here shortly. Okay. But these dumplings, you know, like I say, I cook mine until they get as soft as I want to get them. And I like mine nice and soft and doughy. I don't like them. I don't like that noodly thing going on. So anyway, this is how you do chicken dumplings. You got to get all these strips into your water, into your broth, and then let them cook until they get soft as you want them. Then add your chicken back, and you got chicken pasty. So I will be back. I'm going to continue to add these because it's going to take me a few minutes because I have to sort of wait a little bit, let them cook a little bit because we don't want to get too many in at a time. So hold on. Okay, we're almost there. I'm still adding the dumplings. Like I said, it takes a little bit of time to get this done simply because you got all these dumplings to get in here. And you can't put them all in at one time, in other words. You have to put them in, let them cook a little bit, put them in. I got 2 more flats to put in. There's quite a few dumplings in here. I'm going to have to add some more liquid. So I'm not going to add water. I'm adding chicken broth. So a little bit more chicken broth. Get that boiling. And then, like I said, I got 1 more. After this flat of dumplings, just go ahead and then after I get all the dumplings cooked up, we will throw the chicken in. So we're gonna have to let them cook. I'll let mine cook 15-20 minutes because I like mine nice and soft. We don't like ours like noodles. I don't want it to taste like noodles. This is dough, and it will go to noodles, or you cook it long enough, it'll cook up like them dumplings that Mama used to make. And I've already put in about a stick of butter in there. And make sure you stir them often so that they will not stick, because you know, again, this is dough, and it's it's pastry, so it will stick if you don't keep it stirred, okay? I'll put my other, add a little bit more butter, that's not even, I was putting a stick and a half. I may end up doing 2 sticks. We'll see. We're going to have to add a little bit more liquid to that as well. Try to keep you some of this on hand because you know what? I'd rather put the broth in just water so you can keep your flavor in there. It's nice and flavorful, but it's even better when you keep that flavor in with chicken broth or beef broth, depends on whichever one you're cooking. So, do that pot. Does that pot look familiar to you now? That you're looking at, I'm trying to heat down a little bit because like I said, I don't want them to stick. It's looking more like what you recognize as chicken and dumplings or chicken. You know, some people even call this chicken stew. Again, my mom cooked it and she called it chicken and dumplings. And look, because my daddy loved biscuits, she would cook biscuits. And you talk about some good eating. And we probably have cabbage or lima beans. My favorite thing to have with it was just that, cabbage or lima beans. That's a little piece I missed. But, or you could just have, but those biscuits with this, oh my goodness, I'm not making biscuits though. Cause see, I can't mess with biscuits. I'll eat me some biscuits with this, and I'll turn around and butter me a biscuit and put me some jelly in it. See, I don't need to do that. So, I ain't messing with no biscuits. Can't do it. But see how they're starting to get soft now? And as they cook on, they'll get softer. Now this consistency is how some people, they're done for them. They're not done for me yet. So I'm going to let these cook about another 10, 12 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and put my chicken in. And we can serve us up a bowl of chicken and pastry or chicken and dumplings, whatever you prefer to call it. It's your choice. Chef's choice to the way I cook it, but it's your choice the way you eat it. This is a late meal. Nonetheless, I'm gonna eat it, and I'm gonna what I like to do, because I didn't cook any cabbage or anything like that. I might do that tomorrow if anybody wants it. But what I'm gonna do is drop me some spinach in mine for my vegetables. And you can drop you some spinach or kale in it. I even got turnip greens in there that I could just drop in there just to get my veggies in. But I think, for the not in the entire pot, but I'm just going to drop some spinach when I get ready to help my bowl. I'll put spinach in the bottom and then put my dumplings on top of it. And that'll be just a one dish meal. Of course, I'm not going to eat any bread with it. This is good with corn muffins as well. Or you just eat like it is, because see, you got all the pastry in there, so you really don't need bread. But boy, does it taste good with bread. I'm serious, it's good. So, what have y'all been doing all day? I haven't talked to you all that much because I was over there doing some other. I'm finishing up coloring my hair today. Got my hair done finally. I'll do the great reveal tomorrow when I get it styled and all. It's not styled yet. So this chicken and pastry is looking and smelling wonderful, y'all. Wonderful. It's almost there. Like I said, I'm going to let it cook about another 10 or 12 minutes, and then we'll come back and do the great reveal. Okay, it's about time to get that, the chicken into the pot. We can just about turn these off, because I believe they're ready. I'm going to turn the heat off. I feel them kind of trying to stick on me a little bit. And just a little bit of water in there. Get a little thicker. Yeah, that's perfect. Now we're just going to add the chicken back to it, and voila. Get that chicken down in there, stirred in. And we got us some chicken and dumplings, folks. Chicken and dumplings at its best. Chicken and pastry. This takes, start to finish, about an hour and a half. About a good hour and a half. And it's a lot easier, because sometimes I'll forget and put those dumplings in while all the chicken is in. But it's best to go ahead and cook your dumplings up in that broth, and then take the chicken out once it gets done, then add it back to your pot, and that way you don't have to stir it so much and tear your chicken up so much. But this pot here, y'all, the flavor is unbelievable. I don't know if you've made this dish before or not, but if you use this recipe that I've just used, you cannot miss. And the dumplings in there are wonderful. You're going to want to eat dumplings. That's why it's good to go ahead and do all the dumplings, so that you make sure you have plenty of dumplings in there. I've got a few pieces of this fajita meat. I just might drop those in there. I don't know if I got... Well, there might be enough to use for something. I think there's enough meat. If I need it, you can use any kind of chicken that you want to. You could get a rotisserie chicken and some broth, and to get enough broth, cook it up real good, get those flavors going through. Make sure, just like I said, make sure you have all your broth in the pan, and put your pastry strips or your dumplings in and cook them separately, and then add them back. But you can even use the already cooked rotisserie chicken if you'd like to. That's totally up to you, chef's choice. So we've got this pot of beautiful chicken pastry. It's ready to eat. And again, like I said, what I'm going to do with mine, let me get my bowl over here. I'm going to take me some nice, get me some spinach in my bowl. Just a nice bowl of spinach here, and all I'm going to do is get me a ladle. And I'm going to get, first I'm going to make sure I get some of that nice hot broth going on the spinach. So what it'll do is it'll like more or less like almost like cook the spinach. Get me some noodles on there. A little piece of meat in the center. And that's about all I'm going to eat to begin with. Or you can just eat this right by itself. You don't have to do the spinach. This is just me getting my veggies in. So this is a good way to get your veggies in. I like a lot of that broth in mine. So this beautiful pot of dumplings is ready to eat. We're gonna switch sides. Like so. Since that pot's taller, make sure you clean up our little mess there. This meal is ready to eat. And y'all know I'm going to put salsa right in the middle of that. Y'all already know that though, didn't you? Okay. Just want to make sure you know. But like I said, this is one of those dishes that, let me tell you, it is scrumptious. It's delicious. It's pretty much a healthy meal. I think the only unhealthy thing, if I had to say something unhealthy, was in there. I mean, you know, you can't eat a lot of the dumplings, but the starch in there, you know, I'm not going to eat a lot of it. But in terms of, you got the dumplings, you got your chicken. Now I've thrown the veggies in there. Didn't add a whole lot of salt to it, so we're good to go. And I think, you know, if you're still heart healthy, maybe have you a little bowl of it. And go ahead, you know, and feel good about it, because it is a wonderful, great dish, and it's one of those dishes that will stick to your ribs, as my mom used to say, and it will last a long time in terms of staying full off of it. So, listen, guys, it's been a blast showing y'all how to cook this chicken pastry or chicken dumplings. Hope y'all will use this recipe. I'm excited about my recipe that I did the other day, that cheesy mesquite chicken casserole. That's a good casserole. Y'all need to try that, seriously. I think I posted it a couple of days ago. Try that one. It is wonderful. I cooked a huge pan, and I'm telling you, now men seem to like, my boys loved it. They ate until they couldn't eat no more. And so same thing with this chicken and pastry pot. This is a good, healthy, it's not necessarily, I won't even use the word, a good, healthy, hearty meal that you don't have to have a whole lot of other sides to go with it. If you want other sides, that's wonderful. But just like this is great. So hope you all go back in there, get that recipe going, and put it on the table for your family, honey. They will think you are the bee's knees. Listen, guys, on a more serious note, let's continue to pray without ceasing for these families and for people in general, because I, for one, I'm not feeling great about the things that are going on, or just about life in general these days, because of all the things that are going on. So just continue to pray without ceasing for people who are directly impacted by either the virus or by these recent demonstrations, and in some cases outright riots. So let's be sensitive to that. I know I've been seeing some articles in the paper where some people have been getting into hot water about things that they are saying in a negative way about these demonstrations. So just watch what you say. You know, just kind of quail your mouth sometimes, and you know, veer your thoughts off. Ask God to cover you, that you can kind of keep those thoughts under control and be compassionate toward one another, because we started talking about love, and when you love people and care for people, those things just don't come across, because that's part of what the problem is now. We're leaving love in the foreground, and it should be in the front. It should be ahead of everything, because again, love covers a multitude of sins. Love, as they say, conquers all. Love is compassionate, is kind, is caring, it's all of those good things. So let's try to keep love in front of what we do for our fellow man. And if you can't do that, then at least try. And sometimes it takes, some people maybe have done some things, or some people act in a certain way that's harder. But at least try, because as long as you're trying, you have the opportunity to turn things around. And we certainly need to be trying these days so we can get some things turned around. So continue to pray without ceasing, love one another, reconcile those differences. Please, please take that into consideration, that you have to go back and reconcile those old situations before you can do anything with this new stuff that's floating around here these days. So, listen, guys, I am getting ready to sit down, relax, and enjoy this bowl of dumplings with my spinach. I hope that you will try this recipe, because it's one of my all-time favorites. And listen, guys, thank y'all for all of your comments, compliments, well wishes, and prayers. Continue to pray without ceasing. Continue to support one another. Call somebody. Have somebody over for dinner if you can. Take somebody some food. Offer somebody some food. Offer a helping hand. Give a kind word. Whatever it takes. Anything in that regard these days is welcome. I know it is for me. So listen, guys, until I decide to cook something again, keep those prayers going up now, so the blessings will continue to come down. I love you. Toodaloo.